You need to hear this if you're a paranormal enthusiast. Ready to dive into the unknown? Join the Tristan channel as we journey through spine-tingling paranormal encounters, unexplained supernatural phenomena, and perhaps some eye-popping UFO sightings. Our world is full of mysteries, and together we'll explore the eerie, the bizarre, and the downright unexplainable. From haunted houses to cryptic creatures, we'll react to the most chilling and baffling compilations. So if you're ready to test your courage and expand your mind, hit that subscribe button and let's unravel the unknown together. Welcome to the adventure. Welcome to the Tristan channel.
Hello, my lovely people. I did a evening shift today at work, and I figured, well, because I finished at, I think it was about 8 o'clock I finished. So, and I watched, because I was basically I was binge watching, basically after work, there was nothing on TV, so I was binge watching Star Trek, classic, films 1 to 6, and then I watched a few dollars more, and then it's like, I went, oh, okay, I'll go on my computer for a bit before I go to bed, but I was thinking, hang on a second, if I've got tomorrow off, I might as well make a video as well. So, and I've noticed in a number aspect ratio, I think it's been a week since we've last visited this particular channel, and I've also looked at like the lists of ones who do, and it's like ones we keep visiting here and there, and it's actually been a while since we visited. Well, it's been 1 week, but we don't see him enough. We've been neglectful because he has such an epic channel, and that is Snapped Ham, and this is videos forged in the foul depths of Mordor, which again is ironic because, well, for the past 2 weeks beforehand, because as you know, there's not much on TV, so I watched The Hobbit trilogy, and I was like, do I fancy watching Lord of the Rings? I just went, which I did obviously after working out, and yeah, it's quite funny, a funny title. So I figured we'd go and visit him again and see what he has in store for us. Let's find out.
How you doing? I'm Callan, and this is Slapped Ham.
Hello, Callum.
You're about to see some of the most mysterious videos going around the internet. So smash that subscribe button right now and get ready for some creepy content, just like this. The team from the YouTube channel Paranormal Me often find themselves in some rather frightening situations. In this video, they're exploring a dark forest. According to them, a mysterious figure has been seen in the area.
Evet. Duyuyorum. Senin kayıt cihazı açık mı abi? Açık açık. Ha arkadaşlar bu arada MF'nin yanımızda.
It isn't long into the clip before the team thinks they can see something lurking among the trees.
Abi Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
I've watched this footage several times now, yet I don't seem to be able to see anything unusual. Take a look and see if you can spot what they're talking about. The explorers move on, but soon appear to spot something lurking in the darkness once again. As before, it's difficult to see anything out of the ordinary.
It's a shadow blob.
Neredeydi o? Abi gel. O tarafa gel. Neredeydi o? Bak şurada. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Abi bu metronun değil mi? Bakayım görmez miyim ya? Kamerada yakalamış. İnşallah yakalamış.
Eventually, the team reaches a cleared area and discovers a mysterious hatch.
Ooh.
After some debate, they decide to open it and see what's inside. Take a look at what they see.
So I need a little for a drink. It's been a while since we went to Slapped Ham.
As they pan the camera around the area, they suddenly catch sight of what appears to be a dark, ghostly figure hiding in the corner.
Something on the trees.
It's semi-transparent and somewhat amorphous. Yeah, there's no denying that there's something there.
I like the sound of that word, amorphous. Oh, crikey, Charles. Did you see the thing? It was amorphous. Yes.
As soon as the explorers spot the figure, they quickly close the hatch and move away from the area. However, it seems that curiosity eventually gets the better of them and they return to take a second look.
Do they think it's a djinn or something?
They pan the camera around the space, yet this time there's nothing there.
It's gone. I better stand right behind him. Right, hello, look over too.
The uploader thinks that the dark figure might have been a jinn. Jinns are supernatural beings rooted in Islamic mythology. They're said to be invisible, however, they can shapeshift in.
Not to be picky, but it's Islam, not Islam, like balsamic vinegar. You know what I mean? Yeah, interesting. Was reading Jinn Magic, and that is as jinn tend to ignore you a lot of time. That's why if you need to summon their aid, as it were, you have to contact the big guns and work their way down. You know what I mean? You have to contact the bosses, and the bosses send in the supervisors, you know what I mean? And then they sort it out for you. But doesn't mean you can't catch them off guard. You know, catch them as strolling along. You know,
to several different forms, like animals or even humans. While jinns are considered to be neither innately good or evil, if one is wronged by a human, it may seek revenge, possibly through possession.
Well, wouldn't you? Part of possession, obviously, but.
Could the dark figure seen in this video actually be a jinn? If so, was it following the team the whole time that they were exploring the area? Let me know where you land on this in the comments down below.
Söylenenlere göre dediğin gibi sakallı ve garip bir varlık yani.
Probably hiding in there.
Siyahiymiş.
At best, they like to avoid people. So, like, if you notice a lot of footage, they're even walking by. You know, let's just pretend it's legit, the footage we see, right? But if you look at it, they usually walk past or they peek out. They probably just don't. They probably don't want anything to do with humans in general. But you know what I mean. The thing is, you know, and I may talk about jinn. Although to be fair, one could argue it's semantics really, because in a way, although I mean, problem is, religious people do take things too literal, but because of things like quantum physics and all the different possibilities of different dimensions, etc., and don't forget, you know, we also see, we also only see a certain part of the spectrum of light, and you know, I said it in a previous video ages ago. Regardless if Derek Akora is genuine or not, he actually expressed things in a really interesting idea, which I have no problem with as an idea. So, like, for example, you got ghosts, you got the people who passed on. You have entities which are slightly more intelligent, you know, they could be interdimensional or whatever, but you also have entities or creatures that live in our reality but outside of visual spectrum. So they're just natural, as in, I don't know, a woodlouse in your house or an ant walking along the ground. You know, they're just part of the wildlife that we just haven't discovered yet because we can't see them, if that makes sense, yeah? So, yeah. So with jinn, it's kind of like, when I'm open-minded about jinn, because there's lots of UFO connections with UFOs and stuff, but I'm open-minded about things like demons. A bit too literal because people misunderstood the meaning of that word, because demon comes from the word daemon, which basically is another name for ghost. It's a spirit that can't move on to heaven or whatever, or the afterlife, or whatever religion it's in, and it's stuck on earth. That's what a demon is, or daemon. That then became the word demon. So it's more of a Roman Catholic Church, and obviously any Abrahamic religion that turned them into these boogeymen. To, you know, what I mean, it's all control. You know, you mustn't sin because, you know, the boogeyman will get you something. But I'm sort of looking at being open-minded from a scientific point of view, in the sense of, because don't forget anything. I mean, technically aliens. I mean, because don't forget paranormal and supernatural. They just don't mean ghost stuff. You know what I mean? Because paranormal and supernatural means anything that's slightly outside of what we consider normal. Supernatural is saying that, you know what I mean? You see where the logic is going with that? And a lot of time people forget that, and we take those words for granted, or don't fully use them or express them to their potential. Because before the age of science, an alien from another planet, because of their technology, etc., may seem supernatural. Yeah. So a lot of, you know, so if we did discover jinn one day, let's just say, for example, we discovered jinn or some sort of creature that was existing outside of thing, then it would no longer be supernatural then, would it? It'll either be terrestrial or extraterrestrial, because we have to then determine if it's indigenous or whatever. But so for me, that's why I'm open-minded about the jinn. There's also some interesting theories about dark matter universe and all that kind of stuff as well, from Russian scientists and various other things. But yeah, there's a science. I'm coming from it from a theoretical scientific point of view rather than religious, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm open-minded, because I'm not saying that's necessarily what you consider like demons, but beings that, you know, it wouldn't surprise you if there's beings that exist outside our perceived reality, because don't forget, other animals, you know, they can perceive things that we can't see. You know what I mean? I can't remember if is it bumblebee? I can't remember. Certain insects can see the whole bloody spectrum. Must be a light show, I tell you. I'm not saying it's true, but if there is any truth to that story in Vietnam where the military, I do find it odd that the military did ban these goggles, because it's like, well, why can't you just adjust them or investigate why they cause these side effects? But apparently there's a special type of early night vision goggles. The pilots would shoot shit, you know, randomly shoot stuff in the air, and the soldiers would be shooting things and saying that they saw creatures and shit. And I wonder, I'm not saying it is, but that'd be interesting if that's what we were picking up with those goggles. You know? See, that's what annoys me, is if they banned them, some could argue they banned them for safety reasons, because they're impractical. If you start hallucinating, you know what I mean, it's no good. But I think it's a shame that, you know, hopefully someone's got or made a set somewhere and experimented, because I mean, I heard some ghost channel has, but I don't know, they don't look legit. They look like those anti-blue light glasses, to be fair, but goggle form. I'm not quite convinced, but yeah, that's why I'm open-minded about certain things. But yeah, but from a different standpoint, just so you understand. Hey, nothing waffling. No waffle too long, wasn't an hour at least.
After recently moving to a new home, TikTok user Chubby Gooby began to experience some strange things. Objects began to move unaided, taps would turn themselves on, and there was just a general unsettling vibe that filled the house. It wasn't long before home security cameras captured some of the bizarre activity. In this first clip, captured in early June 2022, we can see the homeowner watching some TV, when suddenly something weird happens. Watch.
I was going to say, if it's TikTok, I don't trust TikTok when it comes to paranormal, because there's a trend where it's like a moving chair and all these different things going on.
What the just happened?
Why didn't she jump out of the chair like, ugh? Because you would.
Hello?
Watching that again, an object falls off a shelf.
I mean, it could be so engrossed in the TV, but you know what I mean? Would you just be like,
What the
bang?
happened?
You know what I mean?
The OP notes that her cat got up just seconds before the object fell, almost as if it knew something was off.
What the just happened? What the just happened?
On June 19th, more eerie footage was captured, this time in the bedroom. Take a look.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The footage is sped up, but you can see that the door opens and closes seemingly all by itself. Then this happens. The washing basket slowly moves towards the bed.
Yeah.
Then something falls off the fireplace as the washing basket moves further towards the bed. Spooked by the event, the homeowners initially tried to rationally explain the bizarre footage. First, they thought perhaps an earthquake had vibrated the washing basket across the room. The couple even tried testing the angle of the floor with water to see if there was a slant that could explain the movement. It wasn't long before their minds drifted into the realms of the paranormal for an explanation. According to a comment made by the OP, they're looking for a medium to help with the situation. They've also pleaded to their followers on TikTok for help and guidance through this bizarre set of events.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust mediums with 10-foot barge pole. I think people like Laney and Ben swear by him, but I don't trust them really. You can actually get... Watch Darren Brown. I mean, actually, he is the most... he's quite clever because he's the most convincing medium. He does that Messiah trick where he's like, I'm not psychic. I don't believe in it. It's nonsense. I'm not no psychic. Yet he wows you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, like Monty Python. Only the true Messiah would deny that he's a Messiah. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not psychic. And then you're like, but how the fuck do you do that? It's like maximum... And he claims it's basically maximum Sherlock Holmes skills. But you can buy books that teach you how to be a really good medium, convincing medium. And the thing is, that what I've seen... when I watched some of Laney and Ben stuff, I saw a medium go around their house. First thing, she went up the stairs or something like that. First thing she did, she went upstairs, looked down at this picture, which had her mother in it. And she was like, oh, I feel cold. Suddenly on cue. But you see her looking at the picture. So they pick up on clues and various other things like that, body language. I mean, there's so much to it. Long as look into it. But if you watch... there's a programme, it might be able to find on YouTube, where Darren Brown goes... And he actually apologises for her upsetting people, but he goes to these conventions and he exposes frauds who are conning people. Thing is, though, in my viewpoint, though, if you bring... I mean, I don't know, in a way, to me, though, it's like, you could argue, yeah, but if it brings people comfort, why ruin it for people? You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, he says, he tells you how he does it, how he did it, sorry. And, yeah, but like I said, you can, like people like him saying, buy books and stuff on it. So I wouldn't trust mediums with 10-foot barge pole. I mean, some of the ones, there's some ones that go with, is it Exploring with Josh or Sam and Colby? They have this blonde girl, whether that's a medium. She's been exposed and debunked so many times as a joke. But yeah, I would be very careful. I'm not saying there isn't the rare case, because even though we may dismiss ESP, the Americans, and I'm not sure, I can't remember if the British did it, not as far as we're of, but the Americans invested billions in it, and so did the Russians. They're both into that sort of shit. But there are former military people who said, "I used to do remote viewing and shit like that." So it's like they did take it seriously, and you would not just go like that. You'd have to, because it's like, even with senators and stuff like that, it's like, oh, I want to build this submarine that is undetectable and shit like that. You have to sell it to someone for them to go, okay, we'll pump this money in. And according to some high-end Freemasons, astral projection is possible. So who knows? But so there may be some rare cases, but if their name's in a phone book, I'd be wary. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, you know what I mean? Just be careful, because sometimes they pick up clues. It's like maximum Sherlock Holmes skills. You know what I mean?
Naturally, a lot of viewers said that they should have their house blessed by a priest immediately, with some genuinely worried for the couple's safety. This is an ongoing story, and one that will
just use sage. You don't need priests and shit.
Continue to keep our eye on. So for now, these eerie happenings will have to remain a mystery.
Thing is, only in America and certain parts of Europe. Actually, no, they don't even acknowledge it in the Catholic Church, in the main Catholic Church. Outside of America, and I don't mean it's in a horrible way, but outside of America, because America, their Christianity is still stuck. In America, Christianity is still young. I'll explain this on the comments on the other video. In Europe and the UK, we've lived with Christianity for 1,500 years. Now, people may still believe in God and Jesus and all that, but not to the extent that they do in America. Most of the people in the UK, we still get crackpots, don't get me wrong, but most people in the UK accept the fact that Jesus may have been just a man who taught really good morals, and that's it. So, you know, these days, mostly church is about community and praying to God and living by the morals that Jesus taught. There's none of this stuff in America. It's like, oh God, there's a demon in my house. I must, and it was like, you know what I mean? Certain third world countries, they're still superstitious. But the Vatican, it's like, yeah, it's like if you said to the Vatican, can you bless my house? Priests would do it anyway if you ask them politely. But it's like, if you ask the Vatican about demons, they'd be like, whatever, mate. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of them. You know, because because a lot of them invest in science now. So if you ask them about the Bible, they said, yeah, but the Bible was written during a time when they didn't know how what made the sun rise. You know what I mean? And things like that. So a lot more. You know, we've grown up. So it's kind of like so if I was to go for a realistic approach, because a lot of people goes, I've had my house blessed and nothing's happened. It's like, that's because you're dealing with a religion that's created by humans. It's a societal construct. It's like, if you're going to use something, use the ideas that work. Like, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Going, a lot of people, you know, a lot of shamans and that just went around the tent or around the ritual area, or just was sage. That's all they did. You know what I mean? There's no like, be gone, ho. You know, they just went around with sage. Or just lit sage and it burnt and that cleansed the area. That's all they did. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and don't get me wrong, I respect people's beliefs and stuff, but, I'm coming from an angle where it's kind of like, yeah, but with all due respect, it's like, I Googled it, and Christianity's been around a lot longer, but in the UK it's been around for what I think it's 1,500 thereabouts years. America wasn't founded 1,000 years ago, so it's on the grand calculus. You know what I mean? So in America they'd be like, "I'll do it. You know, get behind my seat and what's they go, yeah." But just sage the fucking place. It's like, don't, because people go, "I got a priesthood and it didn't work." It's like, well, yeah, because it's mumbo jumbo. It is like, it's ironic. It's like when I say witchcraft, mumbo jumbo. So is prayer, in a way, in terms of expelling stuff. It's like, just waft it. You know what I mean? It's like, if you fart in an elevator, that's going to clear the elevator, isn't it? So if you waft it with sage, you know what I mean? Anyway. But I do respect people's religions. Don't get me wrong. I don't get it from hate. Oh.
Recently, security cameras have become a great source of strange and inexplicable footage. Whether it's due to their poor compression rate or perhaps some other glitch is debatable. Whatever the case may be, they certainly do capture some rather creepy things.
Raccoon.
This footage, uploaded to Reddit by EvenServe6268, was supposedly taken from their doorbell camera. Take a look at what it shows.
That's a glitch.
In the beginning, we can see a car that appears to be pulling out of a driveway across the street. Suddenly, a shadowy, transparent figure races across the screen.
Ew.
It moves from left to right, then mysteriously disappears altogether. As spooky as the figure first seems, some viewers have theorised that it might actually be an optical illusion. They suggest that it's just an ordinary shadow that appears to be moving so fast because it's been cast by the light of a moving vehicle. However, apart from the car on the far right-hand side, there doesn't appear to be anything else around. Unfortunately, it seems that unless more evidence comes to hand, the true identity of this strange shadowy figure will have to remain a mystery.
Yeah, because there's so much lights as well, you have to try and work out where the object is that's causing the shadow, because it could be someone out of shot running across something, and he's running across the ray of light, and that's causing the shadow, could be. But then would it pick across? It's hard, wasn't it? Because it wouldn't pick up across. It would pick up across the wall, but it wouldn't go across the car, would it? I don't know. Yes. Yes. Oh, look at that.
There are a lot of things about the ancient world that we don't understand. In this Facebook video, it seems that someone's found an ancient artifact that defies all rational explanation. The object in question is a stone of some sort. It's reddish-brown in colour, oblong with pointed ends, its surface covered with carved symbols. The person behind the camera never explains how the object came into their possession, but the way it interacts with various household objects is truly astounding. First, they hold it up to a mirror. Somehow, both the stone and the person's hand are missing in the reflection. Only the bones inside their hand are visible.
Oh, God. I must have it.
They continue experimenting with the stone, showing how holding it near a clock makes the hands stop.
I want one.
Proximity to the stone also makes a light bulb turn off and the picture on a television go fuzzy.
Is it of natural radioactive material or something, or what? Or magnetic?
Perhaps most bizarre is what happens when they place the stone in a cup full of water.
Ew.
Take a look.
That all depends if it's legit or not, you mean?
The water is poured directly out of a plastic bottle, yet somehow, when the stone is dropped in the water, it instantly starts to boil.
Nice, that's useful.
The person behind the camera always demonstrates that the objects work normally when the stone is removed, so that...
Yeah, imagine if your boiler's gone and you need to heat your bath. Probably need some tongs or something to grab it out. But I mean, that's useful, ain't it? But if they can get more of these... No, seriously, they take my money, I'll tell you. I won't mind experimenting with that. You know, in the name of science.
There's no question that it's the stone making things act strangely. Some viewers have suggested that the stone could be cursed. Others believe it might be an alien artifact interacting in bizarre ways with Earth's technology. And, of course, a lot of people think it has to be a hoax. So where do you land on this bizarre piece of footage? Let us know in the comments down below.
I mean, okay, to be fair, that's the other thing as well. It is hit and miss all these days, isn't it? Because if you did hand in something that was out of ordinary and someone did a research on it and went, oh, this is interesting, there's very little chance you'll get it back, wouldn't you? So, But again, I do think, you know, why don't people hand stuff in? But, or get it analysed, but say you want to be present when it's been tested. I want one, I want one.
A recent video coming out of Malaysia purports to show a ghostly boy vanishing from sight while on a fair ride. In June 2022, Nur Afrina Rosni from Malaysia was filming her 5-year-old son Muaz on a merry-go-round at a local theme park. In the clip, Rosni films her son on the ride, but something eerie seems to happen. Watch. Watching that again, Rosni's son is sitting with another young boy in one of the carts. They go around once. But on the second spin, her son is suddenly alone.
Ew.
In an interview with the news outlet The Sun, Rosni explains that her son got off the ride alone. When she asked what had happened, Muaz said a worker had paired him with another young boy and they rode on the ride together.
It was a boy, Mummy. A ghost boy. Whoa.
However, when Rosni showed her son the footage, he couldn't explain where the boy went. The footage has since gone viral, with thousands of viewers scrambling to make sense of the freaky footage. Some commenters suggested the boy had simply lied down on the ride on the second rotation. Others said the footage must have been edited, but a large contingent of viewer theories veered into the realms of the paranormal,
Why would he lie
suggesting it might have been the ghost of a young boy who had died at the carnival years prior.
Ooh.
Given that Muaz couldn't explain where the young boy had vanished to, it certainly does make you wonder what's going on here. As of uploading this episode, there's been no official explanation on the young boy's whereabouts.
But why would he lie down? And you can see he's not lay down.
YouTuber Jojo Owens claims that they, along with their wife and several other guests, have seen a mysterious shadow moving around in the back room of their home. On this particular night, after the uploader heard some strange noises, they grabbed their camera and began filming. Take a look at what they've captured.
Ooh, shadow bastard. Ooh.
Sure enough, it isn't long before the mysterious shadow can be seen moving in the room. It passes from left to right, then vanishes for a few seconds before briefly reappearing. Immediately, the YouTuber heads to the back room. However, even after a thorough investigation, they seem unable to find any explanation for the shadow. Could it be possible that the uploaders caught a shadow person on camera? This might explain the fleeting glimpses that the uploader, his wife, and other guests have experienced.
Ew, shadow bastard.
Have you ever had a sense that you're being watched? When Redditor Hello Gallo had that feeling, they ended up with a terrifying photo to prove it. While heading to work early one morning, the Redditor claims that they saw someone or something watching them from the window of their apartment building.
So I said, I'm going to get split eardrops. I've got, right at the base of my eardrum, I've got something that's bothering me.
They thought they could see the figure's hair blowing in the wind, but still uncertain, they decided to see if it was perhaps just a decoration or piece of furniture. However, before they did, they quickly snapped this photo. The Redditor then claims that when they went up the stairs to see where the figure should have been, it was completely gone. It seems that the encounter spooked the Redditor so much that they began to feel sick and cold. They then immediately left for work. While it's possible that the mysterious figure was just a person who had simply walked away as the Redditor was climbing the stairs, that doesn't explain their apparent Grim Reaper-like appearance in the photo. What do you think this could have been? There's no denying that its appearance was certainly creepy, yet we'll never know if it had sinister intentions. For now, it seems this one will have to remain a mystery. In June 2022, the YouTube channel Supernatural captured some eerie activity on their home security camera that they're struggling to explain. The OP claims that weird things have been happening at their house for quite some time now. Their dog barks at seemingly nothing at all hours of the night, and objects have even been seen moving unaided. And recently, their 3-year-old has been talking and interacting with people who aren't there.
Oh, wow.
On June 7th, something was caught on camera that makes this story all the more chilling.
Let me know in the comments, for those of you who've got kids, has your... Oh, that's really irritating. Probably got some eardrops somewhere. But let me know if you've got kids and if they've ever done that. You know what I mean? But it's really freaky. And it's like, oh, there's so-and-so over there. There's so, you know, people in the room will know. He's behind you.
Take a look. At 10:23 p.m, a child's toy car appears to be dragged across the yard by an unseen force.
Excuse me 1 second. I got some eardrops. See what? I surprise myself sometimes. Oh, that reminds me, I keep that out because then. I don't think she didn't know I got a YouTube channel, but a shout out to Cobblestone Witch. She does some really good stuff. He's got stuff from her from eBay and stuff like that. Gems and pens, you know, really cool stuff.
Then, on June 19th, more eerie security footage was captured. Watch. This time a chair begins to move. The chair rocks back in the direction of the front of the yard, then it jerks towards the house.
Ew.
The fact that it moves in 2 separate directions suggests it's less likely to be string or rope moving the chair. For the first movement to happen, string would have to be running out onto the road. So what do you think? Given that the OP has allegedly been experiencing some eerie things inside their home, it does make you wonder whether this footage does show something paranormal. When someone passes away, it sometimes helps to think that previously deceased friends and family members will be there for them in the afterlife. At least that's...
So I'm feeling the effects. It's like, ah, that's nice. Got a little snack crackle and pop going in here, but it's like, let's get rid of that irritation.
what Deanie Grana believes. This video, which was shared to Facebook, was recorded at a funeral home during a service for her boyfriend's niece. The footage doesn't really focus on the service itself, however. Rather, we see a lamp that appears to be in the foyer outside of where the service is being held. We can hear the mourners reciting a prayer in the next room, but it's the lamp that keeps our attention. As the mourners pray, the light from the lamp flickers on and off. You may be thinking that this could easily be an electrical issue or even a loose light bulb. However, watch what happens the moment the prayer ends. The light turns on and the bulb burns steadily until the end of the footage. According to the description, a family friend passed away a few years before this video was recorded. They believe that she was using the lamp to indicate that she was there for the family, or perhaps to escort the niece to the beyond. TikToker Dino Nuggets 741 believes his house is haunted and has decided to document the occurrences for all to see online. We've featured several of his videos before. However, in this one it seems he might have actually captured visual evidence of the entity that is supposedly haunting him. The footage begins as we see the TikToker watching TV. Suddenly, he hears a strange noise and gets up to investigate.
Fucking monitor.
Cautiously, he looks around. Then as he enters the bathroom, the source of the mysterious sound becomes apparent. His shower has seemingly turned itself on. The TikToker then remarks that this is the reason his water bill is so high.
My water bill is $600 a month.
He continues investigating the surrounding area, checking the toilet, then the walk-in closet.
Things, I mean, it must do it by... Isn't it odd that if a tap's left running, you get charged? But I think because we got some pretty old taps and they're not perfect, we still get some drippage. That's what she said. You know what I mean? And yet our water bill's not high. I wonder if it's charged by gallons or something. It's like, I don't know. Don't hate me. It's one of the things that they should have taught people in school about paying water bills, shit like that. But our water bills are not high. It's weird.
Suddenly, another noise startles him and he immediately heads back into the bathroom. It seems as though the potential poltergeist has struck again, this time turning the sink faucet on while the TikToker's back was turned.
I saw... Look at the bottom of the door. Didn't say move.
It seems as though the potential poltergeist has struck again, this time turning the sink faucet on while the TikToker's back was turned.
Now, it looked like... Okay, but yeah, I thought so.
Things then reach a new level of creepy when he heads over to turn the water off. Take a look at what he's captured on camera.
I'm standing right here.
If you watch the mirror closely, you'll notice that a dark shadowy figure appears to pass behind him.
I'm standing right here.
Initially, the TikToker doesn't seem to notice anything as he can be heard muttering
It's like... Ew.
that he needs to move house.
Nothing.
He mobbed it. He moved. Mobbed.
Time to move. It's time to move.
They move oddly down. It's like they float like Emperor Palpatine.
Some viewers think that the figure might simply be an accomplice, one that's been unintentionally caught fleeing the scene after turning on the faucet.
What, wearing black?
However, the TikToker did give us a good look at the surrounding area beforehand, and there didn't seem to be anyone there. Furthermore, there were no obvious hiding spots that looked big enough for a person to hide.
And with that floor, I'm not saying he didn't hoax it, but I'm saying is that when you look at that floor, though, it's tiled, so wouldn't we hear him as well?
Take another look at the mysterious figure. What do you think? Has this TikToker really captured video proof of the poltergeist that's said to be haunting his house? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below.
Get it. I'm standing right here. I don't know what you want me to do, bro. See, nothing in here, man.
Oh boy. And don't worry, it may seem gross, but nothing horrible came out, but so I had to do that, but it was really bugging me. I mean, because I usually use cotton buds, which is a bit of a sin. You shouldn't really do, you shouldn't really be sticking things in your ears. But to be fair, I've got like an erogenous zones in my ear, and it's just like, oh, I mean. But yeah, it was really bugging me. It's not bugging me now, which is great.
When a security alarm is triggered, it can be a scary event. However, this video, shared to Reddit by Bamarocky19, might show something that makes the whole situation even creepier. Take a look. According to the uploader, this footage comes from the bar's security camera that's next door to them. The manager had just finished closing up, so he headed to the office to lock up and set the alarm. Not long after the alarm was triggered, a police officer soon arrived but found nothing of concern in the building. Puzzled, the manager reviewed the security camera footage to see what had set the alarm off. In the footage, you can see a ghostly shape moving across the room directly in front of the bar. It appears to resemble a person, yet it's pale and transparent. It moves slowly across the room for several seconds before the footage cuts out.
Probably thinking, where's my drink?
After what?
I'm surprised at the area that we work. I'm surprised that's... Well, Mac used to... Shout out to Mac. Hope he's watching this. Hope you're enjoying your new job in the NHS. But he could have sworn blind that he saw someone upstairs. Because where we work used to be a pub. We don't use the top stairs, upstairs bit. I can't remember what we got up there. Probably got a bit of power generator, whatever. And yeah, he said he saw someone up there. But to be fair, it used to be a pub or an inn, so you know what I mean. Who knows? I don't think it was always a pub though. It was when I was a kid, but I mean, in terms of going back to the 1900s and stuff like that, I'm not quite sure if it was a pub back then. I don't know who that far back, but either way, someone's got lived in there and passed on.
Watching the clip, some viewers suggested it could have been a light from a passing car shining through the window. However, light alone wouldn't be enough to trigger the motion sensor on the alarm. So could there really be a ghost in this bar? Watch the footage again and judge for yourself. This bizarre little clip was posted to the Facebook page Alien Skies. In January 2021, something strange happened in the skies over Arizona. As you can see, the clouds form a perfect square shape with one of the corners coming to a point just above the horizon. There's a clear line of contrast against the blue sky on either side.
It kind of reminds me, I'm not sure if you've ever done this, it's silly, I know, but when I was a kid, I used to lay on my back like that and pretend I was walking on the ceiling, just because I found it interesting and bizarre, as you do at that age. Because when you think about it, when your room is upside down, essentially it's the same as the floor, but you know what I mean? Except the furniture. So it was like having. So I was trying to reach. Yeah, you got to kick the feet to try and reach the. You know what I mean? It's a silly thing, I know, but when he tilts the camera, it's kind of like that. It's like you're looking down at a carpet on the floor or something. Because it's so square. Yeah.
There's been a few videos lately showing similar looking cloud formations, which has led to a slew of varying theories. Some say it's government weather control, others think it's the work of aliens or even a glitch in the simulation. As of yet, there's been no official explanation from the Bureau of Meteorology, so for now, this bizarre sighting will have to remain a complete mystery.
Looks really cool.
Sometimes even the non-paranormal explanations for bizarre events can be just as terrifying as the paranormal ones. For instance, check out this video that's been doing the rounds on Facebook. The video shows a young woman laughing into the camera. We can hear her friends in the background of the video. Everything seems normal for the first few seconds of the clip.
Oh, God,
however, things eventually take a turn for the eerie. Take a look.
中中国だって配ってんだしかも男の人にわかる
リンカリンカリンカ
As she continues laughing, her face, head and body suddenly stop moving. She continues to laugh, unmoving for a few seconds before going silent. She remains completely frozen for several seconds, staring into the camera as her friends call her name. Eventually she begins moving and laughing again, just as suddenly as she froze. Some viewers think this may have been some sort of glitch in the fabric of reality. However, others have offered a less supernatural, though just as terrifying explanation.
Or it could be a seizure, because the way she goes... Oh. It looks like, you know when you go, oh. You know what I mean? It's like your body's like, oh. You know what I mean? She looks like... You know what I mean? So...
It's called an absence seizure. This occurs when brain function is briefly disrupted and usually results in the person stopping all activity and staring until the seizure ends.
Well, there you go then, mate.
So is this the most likely explanation for the woman's strange behaviour? Or is it something else entirely? Let me know what you think down below.
You can tell by body language because she's like, oh. When she breaks out of it, it's like, are you okay? And she's like, mm-hmm. She's like, yeah, okay, I'm okay.
Abandoned places are a favourite of both urban explorers and paranormal investigators alike. In this video, the Terra Al Extremo team searches an abandoned church for evidence of the infamous La Llorona. According to South American folklore, La Llorona is thought to be a vengeful spirit, the ghost of a woman who's been left to eternally search for her lost children. She is similar to the more common woman in white. However, in the case of La Llorona, she's said to search for her children near bodies of water, as that's where she drowned them in a moment of madness. In the footage, we see the team explore an area around an old abandoned church that is located near a lake. An area, it seems, where they think such a spirit may reside.
We hear crying like, oh.
After searching for some time, they finally catch a glimpse of something unusual. Take a look. Just as they turn the corner, they manage to inadvertently capture a mysterious dark figure that quickly slinks out of sight.
Wouldn't La Llorona, wouldn't that be like a woman in white, like a grudge bitch, you know, white with long black hair, you know?
Not long after, as the team is exploring the interior of the building, we see what appears to be the same figure once again.
Oh, Rambo,
The figure then seems to make one final appearance right near the end of their investigation. At first, it's difficult to notice. However, if you brighten the footage, you can actually see it appears to be flying through the air.
Now it's walking. It's walking very like sideways like that. And it looks like someone with a mask, but they're walking at an angle like that, like. You know what I mean?
So has the Terra Al Extremo team managed to capture evidence of La Llorona haunting the area around this old church? Or was it perhaps just a squatter? If the latter is true, then how does one explain the figure's seeming ability to levitate?
The thing is, I ain't walking behind the wall. But freaky.
This next video on our list was uploaded to TikTok by elkukui.tv, but its origins remain a mystery. It shows someone wandering around a wooded area at night time. As they make their way through the darkness with little more than their camera light to guide them, they stumble across what appears to be several graves. While this is creepy enough to find in itself, take a look at what they captured next.
It's a naked dude.
A gaunt-looking figure emerges from behind a tree and runs up the embankment.
Oi, crackhead.
It's only visible for a second or two, but it's long enough to get a decent look. Whatever it is, it has long, lanky limbs, a large, oddly shaped head, and appears to have grey, hairless skin.
So I love that term. It's an old expression. Like long shanks, you know. Like Hobbit you'd call a tall person. Long shanks. I mean, lanky. Yeah, lanky bastard.
It's only visible for a second or two, but it's long enough to get a decent look. Whatever it is, it has long, lanky limbs, a large, oddly shaped head, and appears to have grey, hairless skin.
Oi, get a job.
Its appearance is similar to the classic depiction of an alien grey, but it also fits the description of a crawler.
Smeagol.
Crawlers are said to be tall, lanky, humanoid creatures with no hair, sunken eyes, and very sharp claws and teeth. They're also thought to be extremely fast and aggressive, attacking animals and even humans if they come too close. Unfortunately, without any information on where this video was actually captured, all we can do is speculate on what this mysterious figure might actually be.
Naked crackhead.
Our last entry for the day comes from the Facebook page Cryptid University. They purport to have evidence of a Bigfoot sighting that's caused quite a stir. This series of wild photos were captured in the forests of New York State. Walking among the shrubbery is a large bipedal figure that's covered in thick matted fur.
Gorilla costume.
Subsequent photos show the alleged creature to have a flattened face with a pronounced forehead and a depressed nose.
That looks like a mask, though, doesn't it? That looks really bad. I think it's potato quality.
On closer inspection, there even appears to be a baby clinging to the back of the larger creature. Naturally, the reactions to this sighting have been varied. Some think it's just another faker walking around the woods in a woolly costume. However, others think there's just too many fine details that seem to allude that this sighting of Bigfoot could be genuine.
Yeah, but saying that, the very first footage of Bigfoot, everyone believed that was real. You know, the one that was walking and looking at the camera like that. That was totally fake. They actually managed to... I think it's... the costume was made in a film studio in Mexico, or where they got it from, purchased it from. But you know, it's like Casper Sykes said on his videos, and I'm not encouraging that people to go out and blow things away and shoot things and kill things that they don't understand. But not being funny, there are hunters who would do that. You know what I mean? It's like, not being funny. Human nature in general dictates. If there was a reward, say you could prove that. I mean, this is gonna. If it's a terrestrial, let's say Bigfoot exists. If it's a terrestrial being, it will not major ripple, but it will cause us to adjust our history of evolution, man, in a sense of. There'd be a branch that became us. There'd be a branch that became the primates today, and there'd be a branch that became them. You know what I mean? So we would still have. It would still be a major discovery that will enhance or expand our thing. You know what I mean? And obviously, if we did analyze its DNA, we could see where on the branch where it is. You know, it could be the missing. There's not actual missing link, but you know what I mean. You telling me for like say $50,000 or $1 million? You telling me as a hunter you wouldn't shoot a Bigfoot if you saw it just to get famous, to get the money? You would, wouldn't you?
The flat.
So why hasn't none of them done it? It's like, come on, people! You know that cameras are not reliable. You know what I mean? And most Bigfoot sightings, I don't live in these forests, but these forests you hear got wolves, pumas, and bears. And not being funny, I've seen enough David Attenborough programs to go, that's a freaking bear. You know what I mean? I know that's not a bear, but you know what I mean? It's like, a lot of it is just a bear. You know what I mean? It's like, well, surely someone out there would have shot one by now. You know what I mean?
And face, the lumbering gait and the little clinging baby have ignited hope in Bigfoot believers that he's really out there. According to Redditor Endless River, her father-in-law, a property manager,
And sorry to interrupt, but isn't it funny we could find people like Osama bin Laden, but we can't find Bigfoot?
snapped this photo in an abandoned office building that he was responsible for. Take a look at the image and see if you can spot anything unusual.
All I can say is I challenge... Don't... Actually, don't, that's the point. You'd have to kill it. What's this idea of killing? Obviously, you have to stipulate to let it out, or make a contract where you release it back. But anyone who's ex-military, I challenge you to go out, track in the woods, tranquilise one, take it back, go, they exist, and let it back out in the woods again. You know what I mean? Just to sell it, I challenge you.
Unless you have eagle eyes, it might not be until we zoom in that you see what's so creepy about it.
Ooh, a face.
There's a weird-looking face at the end of the hallway just below the green exit sign. Some viewers have pointed out that the right side of the face looks particularly odd, as if it's suffered some sort of traumatic injury. Since the photo was uploaded, it's received a lot of attention.
Or is it paranormal?
While some Redditors seem certain that it's a ghost, others are less convinced. They think it could be the reflection of a poster that may have been on the opposite wall. They suggest that the uploader's father-in-law returns to the building to investigate further. Unfortunately, unless an update is posted, the real source of this creepy face will remain anyone's guess, at least for the time being. Are you the type of person who leaves their curtains open at night time? If so, you'll likely think again after watching this video uploaded to TikTok by Old Fogey John. The brief clip shows the TikToker's window late at night. The house is brightly lit inside, but outside the sky is totally black. Unfortunately, the night is far from peaceful. If you watch closely, you may notice something strange lurking outside. Take a look.
Two sets of eyes, a tall one and a short one.
You can see what looks like small glowing eyes through the left-hand side of the window. Then another set becomes visible, this time on the right. It seems that there's actually two figures peering through the glass. To some viewers, their indistinct shapes resemble descriptions of the cryptid known as the Mothman, a tall brown or grey creature with large wings and glowing eyes. So what do you think it shows? Creepy cryptids, a pair of peeping toms, or something else entirely?
Because that's the thing, I always draw the curtains. I mean, those our windows are old, but they're not as clear a set as that. That's really clear glass. It's like, I wouldn't have your curtains in, because I don't know what you get up to at night. But the point is, it's like any slight bit of light that's in your house, people could see what you're doing. It's like, a bit of privacy, wouldn't you?
Let me know where you land on this in the comments down below. Strange things happen in the dark of night. This video, shared to Facebook by Samantha Bradshaw, may have you thinking that it's best to just stay inside after the sun goes down. The video was recorded by the poster's brother in Somerset, Kentucky. He was outside having a smoke at a little before 3 a.m. In the video, he seems to be in a large apartment complex. Everything seems fairly normal. However, things get strange when he notices something moving in the window of a nearby apartment.
Just keeps open and closing, there's nothing in there. Curtain closed, curtain.
Even though there doesn't seem to be anyone in the window at this late hour, the curtains are bunching up, seemingly all on their own. Some viewers have offered some explanations, such as an oscillating fan or even wind from another window. Some claim that they can see a person standing in the window who could be moving the curtains, but others insist that the window is empty.
It could be a kid or something, or someone playing the curtains.
According to the video description, the man who recorded the video didn't see anyone at all and has no explanation for what's going on here.
I got those.
Do you believe that we could all be living in a simulation? If
Possibly.
not, these next photos might just change your mind. They were uploaded to Reddit by Miss MXXN after she experienced something that she couldn't quite explain.
It's not impossible. I mean, just ask anyone who's... You know that... Was it Unreal Engine? You know that one where they released demos where it's like they're moving around a building and there's fire and... You know, and it looks so lifelike. If you actually ask a lot of game engineers, developers, whatever you want to call them, because they create these open worlds that are so realistic and using actual physics like ray tracing, the way the rain falls, gravity, you know, all kinds of different factors from real physics to make it really realistic in these open world environments. They are starting to question reality themselves. And it's not an impossible idea. And the funny thing is, someone, a mate of mine said, oh, no, it's nonsense. Apparently a scientist came up with this equation that proves it's nonsense. I couldn't find this scientist, but the other thing to bear in mind is, as any problem is, what do you call it? Also, there's that experiment with particles. It's weird that particles only behave a certain way if you're watching them, which is really fucking weird. But it's the consensus is, though, that any evidence, I'm not sure if it works for or against either direction, but the point is, any evidence to the contrary, it's one of those things like God. You can't prove or disprove it, because any proof that disproves it is from an experiment done within this illusion, if that makes sense, within this simulation. So it's evidence supplied to you by the simulation, so it's not real evidence, if that makes sense. If we're living in a simulation, that's simulated evidence. It's not real, if you know what I mean. So it's hard to disprove or prove, in a way, but it's possible.
She says that she found this bead while sweeping the floor and thought her bracelet had broken. However, she discovered that her bracelet was still completely intact. Naturally, the appearance of the mysterious bead piqued the interest of many Redditors, several of whom seemed to have more questions than answers. One asked if there was a chance that someone could have broken the bracelet without her knowing. The poster replied saying that she thought it would be almost impossible, as she had worn the bracelet pretty much 24/7 since she got it. What's even stranger is that the poster noted that the only way to fix it would be to replace the elastic band completely. One astute Redditor also pointed out that if the band had broken, then there would also be an extra small bead, but looking at the second photo, there clearly isn't one. This is certainly a perplexing problem, one that seems to have no easy answer. We'll throw this out to you, the viewers. Can you come up with a convincing explanation for the mysterious appearance of an extra turtle bead? Or is it more likely that this is further proof that we're all living inside the Matrix?
I'm not saying it is, not saying it isn't, but I think the other thing as well, a lot of the stuff that we get that gets brought forward isn't necessarily proof. It's like, I don't think you could prove it in terms of glitches and, you know what I mean? How to explain that? You know what I mean? Hang on, man.
Here's a funny little clip that was uploaded to Facebook by Heather Rose. It's not paranormal at all, but shows something rather creepy all the same. Take a look. Watching that again, as the cell phone explodes in the microwave, it looks like a demonic face appears in the bubbling plastic. It writhes about and seems to scream in agony. This clear case of pareidolia shows just how suggestible we really are.
Yeah, I think I've seen this before. Sound effect was added afterwards, but yeah. It's really... I don't recommend doing it, but there's one I can't seem to get done, but only in 2 different pieces. If you actually... People go, oh, crystals, crystal power. There may not be spiritual stuff involved, but the thing is, we use quartz. The thing is interesting is Tesla said, because basically what I'm leading to the microwave thing, but Tesla was saying that energy does have crystals or could store energy or information, which I think is fascinating because it's like we can have crystals like Superman and the Richard Donner Superman, you know, the Fortress of Solitude and stuff like that. But it can contain energy, or you know what I mean. But that may sound silly, but we use quartz in electrical equipment, and also apparently if you get 2 good sized quartz, and it's not necessarily friction, but you go like that with them, and there's no heat. You can touch them. There's no heat, but the odd thing what happens is they glow. You know what I mean? I can't get it to work, but someone's done an experiment with that. But yeah, if you put it in a microwave, it glows as well, which is interesting. But don't do that, please. Don't try any of this at home. Also, cutlery. They dispelled the myth about cutlery. Again, don't do it for God's sake. Or don't think, oh, it's safe then. But no, it won't cause... If you put anything metallic in it, it won't blow up. It will cause sparks.
Proving we can see familiar patterns in just about any visual stimulus. Still, it's a fun, spoopy piece of footage either way.
Ugh, it's freaky, eh?
Fought in 1863, the Battle of Gettysburg involved the largest number of casualties of the entire American Civil War.
Oh, fucking hell.
Today, many people who visit the area report paranormal experiences. This mysterious photo, shared to Reddit by GGBNYC, might prove that spirits really do roam this infamous battleground. The Redditor claims that they visited the area not to hunt for ghosts, but rather to pay their respects to the fallen soldiers.
That was nice.
However, while visiting the cemetery, they had what they describe as a very intense experience.
Look at that. I know it's a cemetery sort of place, but look at that. I mean, with England, we do have a problem with space and stuff, and the problem is we don't want to get to I mean, technically, the thing is what it is. I mean, I'm not anti-immigration, but the thing is, we do have space for people. The problem is, it's like how much of your landscape will you lose? Because like places like in America, you've got forests and stuff like that. I love that. You know, we need more wilderness. I mean, a lot of stuff I miss as well is you don't see so much, especially down roads in England. It's, you know, and I reckon they should, next time they work on a road, I don't care what people think, but I reckon it'd still be beautiful. There's some sort of trees planted back in, you know what I mean? Because yes, whilst trees are a pain in the arse at times with the roots and shit, it's just beautiful, man. You know what I mean? It's like Dorset. It doesn't look like the Shire anymore, you know what I mean? And it's just nice. I like foresty stuff, you know.
The OP took this photo after they saw something moving behind a tree. Looking closely, you can make out some sort of strange figure to the right of the tree. They also believe that they heard the sound of marching. Several viewers noted that they too had heard mysterious marching sounds along with cannons firing and even disembodied war cries.
Ew.
The poster showed the photo to a park ranger who thought the creepy figure resembled a Confederate soldier on horseback.
It's quite interesting because it reminds me of, was it Red Dead Redemption 2? If you go to that, is it near Rhodes? That battle place with all the cannons and stuff. And you go, I think it's at night time. If you go there at certain times of the night, you can hear the thing.
Another theory is that it might actually be a local cryptid known as Old Green Eyes. The story goes that because there was so much blood spilled on the battlefield, a mysterious creature has been drawn to the area. It's described as being human-like with a large deformed jaw and long fangs. However, its most notable feature is its glowing green eyes.
Yeah.
Since the war, several visitors to the area claim to have seen this beast. The most notable encounter involved a park ranger named Edward Tinney. During an interview in 1981, he described seeing a creature with glaring greenish-orange eyes that flashed like some sort of wild animal. Its teeth were long and pointed like fangs, and it had long hair like that of a woman. While the figure in this photo doesn't show the hallmark green eyes of this little-known cryptid, it certainly does appear to be human-like and might even have long dark hair. So what do you think's been captured in this image? A battlefield ghost, a mysterious creature, or something else entirely? Let me know where you land on this in the comments down below.
Uniform. I mean, because it's grey and ghostly, you think it might be Confederate, but it could be any of the soldiers. You know what I mean? It could be like a black and white photo. Or it could be a tombstone behind a tree. Who knows?
This next video on our list is certainly a strange one. It was uploaded to YouTube by Animetrics, however its actual origins are unknown. In the clip we see a cat standing on the sidewalk, possibly outside a store. Amazingly, this furry feline seems to be walking in place, as if it's on an invisible treadmill. Its little feet glide across the...
I always used to take a piss out of people who spent... Actually, I didn't irritate because I'm like, if you can waste all your time watching cat videos and stuff out on YouTube, you could be watching my channel, as my old actually were. But to be fair, I've been finding myself watching cat videos. They are cute and hilarious. But that is a smooth surface, and it's not glitched. It's fing-fonging. There's a thing called fing-fonging, where it does this with its feet. Sometimes it'll do it on you. Fing-fong, yeah, it's called. Cat. If you're a cat owner, you know what I mean. All it's doing is fing-fonging both feet, and therefore, because it's a smooth surface, it's fing-fonging on the spot.
Ground while its body remains in the exact same spot. So could this be, as some viewers have noted, a glitch in the Matrix? After a few seconds, a passerby approaches the cat. However, as they do, the animal immediately begins to walk normally.
Because you see its toes do the fing-fong thing, and as soon as a person comes on, its feet goes, dum, and then carries on. Yeah, it's fing-fonging, mate.
The person leaves, then the cat goes right back to its impromptu moonwalk.
Yes, fing-fonging.
One theory is that the cat might be on a leash, which is holding it in place as it attempts to move forward. Watch the clip one more time and let me know your explanation for this bizarre sighting.
Well, it's got a collar, but now it's fing-fonging. Because you've also noticed it. Because if it's actually walking, then why is it that one of the legs is doing kicking out more? The leg facing us is flicking out more as it goes back. So it's a polished surface and it's fing-fonging. See, look, its legs go boop, boop. There's a bucket there as well, so is it wet or the face?
What do you do when an innocent mirror selfie takes a turn for the eerie? According to Redditor Confident Bank 6083, her daughter took this photo in a bathroom mirror while she was at a sleepover. Everything seemed perfectly normal until she noticed something off about it. If you look in the upper left-hand corner of the photo, you can see a disembodied face that seems to be staring at the camera from above the shower curtain. The face is pale, with dark, hollow eyes. The bottom half of the face is darker, almost as if the part of the face is covered by some sort of injury, or is missing entirely. According to the post, the daughter isn't really one to buy into paranormal claims, but this photo was enough to freak her out. She was so disturbed that she called her parents for a ride home in the wee hours of the morning, even though she was 2 hours away. When the daughter returned home, she said that the friend's house felt strange and that the bedroom lights would turn on and off by themselves. Most viewers said it's definitely a chilling sight, but couldn't quite explain what they were seeing. So what do you think? Is that face really something sinister, or is it just a case of pareidolia?
You're a creepy character.
This strange footage was sent to us by viewer Adam Luttrell. In mid-April 2022, Luttrell found a security gate at his work wide open. The gate is normally double padlocked and is checked by Luttrell and his supervisor before leaving every shift. Confused, Luttrell got his supervisor to check the security footage from the night before to see what had happened. That's when they saw something they can't quite explain. Take a look.
Pardon me? Ew.
As you can see, the gate begins moving, seemingly all on its own. It flexes inwards, then swings wide open. As it swings open, one of the nearby security lights turns off. The supervisor confirmed that there was no wind that night and is at a loss to explain how the gate swung open like that. In a follow-up comment, Luttrell said there's been no other strange activity at the worksite and believes that whatever opened the gate may have used the last of its energy in this final movement. So this comment obviously implies that Luttrell believes something paranormal is afoot here. But what do you think? What could have opened the gate like that? Love to hear your theories in the comments down below. This bizarre video was uploaded to Twitter by Danny Dutch. It appears to show motorists making a left-hand turn into an inexplicable void. Take a look. We can see a dozen or so motorcyclists seemingly disappear as they round the corner, shortly followed by several cars. As you can expect, the footage caused quite a stir online, with many viewers left totally baffled as to what's going on here. Luckily, a visual explanation was posted by user Stop Eating Bees, which shows that this seemingly bizarre event was little more than an optical illusion. It turns out that the footage was captured from a high-up vantage point as the motorists were simply being obscured from view by a building as they turned. Also, what appears to be water flowing under a bridge is actually just the same building's wet roof.
Oh, good one.
Now that you know what's going on, take another look at the clip and see if you can make sense of it.
Oh yeah, that murky bit is actually the roof of a building. Man.
So now that this mystery's been solved, it seems we can all put away our tinfoil hats, at least for now. This eerie little clip was shared to TikTok by user Razor Tails. The OP says that her mum gave her stuffed teddy bear to them when they moved out of home. She's always been fond of it, but recently she noticed eerie things happening. They claim that the bear, on occasion, will move on its own. In this clip, the title claims that the bear will only move when she leaves the room. Take a look at what happens. As you can see, the bear begins to move. This clip went viral, and after it racked up millions of views, thousands of commenters were freaked out by the sighting. Some called for the toy to be burned or for a priest to splash it with holy water.
Or just shout out Thunder Buddies for life and see what happens. I forgot the words to the song, damn it. You know, I know. Because he does look like Ted, a bit like Ted from the film Ted, doesn't he? Oh, itchy. When you hear some thunder, then do not be scared. So grab your thunder buddy and say these words. Fuck you, thunder, you can suck my dick.
However, a lot of people noticed a telling detail that reduces the creep factor significantly. At the 9-second mark, just before the bear moves, there's a distinct cut in the shot. The lighting changes and something on the right-hand side of the bed seems to move. So it would seem this is a fake yet fun little bit of footage for TikTokers to thumb over late at night.
See, again, don't trust TikTok.
In 2012, the Athens, Georgia Public Utilities Department recorded some footage that still to this day they can't explain. The Utilities Department sent a guided camera through the sewer system to capture footage for an upcoming public service announcement. The video was intended to show what happens when foreign objects are flushed down the toilet. However, what they ended up catching on camera is far from their original intention.
Giant crocodile.
Take a look. What looks like a hand can be seen reaching up out of the water.
Ew.
While this could be some kind of organism growing in the sewers, the fact that it seems to reach out with a hand has left some experts completely baffled. To this day, the Athens, Georgia Public Utilities Department hasn't been able to explain this eerie sighting.
I'm good on that. Yeah.
This creepy clip was uploaded to our Slapped Ham Facebook community page by user Bobby Bars. The footage begins with the uploader explaining that he's just started hearing some unusual noises coming from somewhere inside his home.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's like knocking, creaking footsteps. It's either in my room or Sky's room, but Sky's passed out right now.
The noises are faint, but if you listen closely, you can hear a knocking or scraping sound echoing through the room. Clearly disturbed, he begins searching the house for the source.
I think it's coming from my room now.
As he enters one of the rooms, we can hear what sounds like a woman crying.
What the f*** is that?
Then the uploader cautiously approaches a cabinet. He explains that he keeps it barricaded shut by what looks like a large telescope.
See, I keep this up against the cabinet.
He says he does so to stop the dolls that are kept inside from opening the cabinet's doors.
Because the dolls like to try to open the doors and so weird. I don't know what that sound is though.
As he shows us the collection, he's suddenly spooked by something.
What the f*** was that, man? Yo.
So what's going on in this house? Several viewers have noted that they think the dolls give off some creepy vibes. Could it be possible they're haunted or possessed in some way? For now, this will have to remain a mystery, but we'll keep you posted as soon as more information comes to hand.
Bro.
When Reddit user Lividly0 brought home an old photo album they found at a trash site, they claim that strange things began to occur shortly after. The album seems to contain photos from the 1800s, as evidenced by the scribbled text below one of the images. The uploader claims that shortly after placing the book on the kitchen table, a can of drink suddenly flew off the surface, and that the photo album, which was standing upright at the time, was now lying down. Unsure of what had happened, they reviewed their security camera, but for some unknown reason, the footage began to glitch out. The uploader says that the photo album seemed to have fallen over without making any noise at all. When they tried to recreate the situation themselves, every time the book fell over, it did so with a very loud thud. Sometime later, they decided to move the album to a shelf. That's when the lid from an old Carnival glass canister flew off and landed on the edge of the shelf. Originally, the poster didn't think the album could be haunted. After the can flew off the table, they simply laughed it off as a coincidence. However, when the lid blew off the canister, they began to wonder what was really going on. Could it be possible that this old photo album actually is cursed? Perhaps that's the reason it was in the trash in the first place. If you found a creepy old album that looked like this, would you take it home? Let me know in the comments down below.
Well, there you go. Slapped ham. They were good, weren't they? Some of them are fake, some are a bit questionable. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts and theories on some of the things that were mentioned in the video, etc. And yes, and with that, also thanks for listening to Waffle. Much appreciated. And as always, thanks for sitting through these and watching these with me. And with that, I shall see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.